beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was early this morning. I was. But right now I'm in the library. And anyway, I love you all. And I hope you're getting out in nature. And also watch out there. There's something brewing out there in this world. So make sure you have your shields, hold your shield, man. It's tense out here right now. So anyway, I love you all, and also I want to say a huge thank you to all of you who have been here loving and supporting Starlight. And also, if anyone would like, you can also leave a love donation, and I will have that information here on my Cash App. Ping, there it is. And so today I've been wanting to make this video, but I've had it in bits and pieces in other videos. But today is the day that I really need to, make this video. Hang on, I just got to grab something really quick. I just kind of thought of this, even though it's not exactly what I want to do, but it's okay. So anyway, before I do start this video, check this out. Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, don't forget you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, plus give me a thumbs up, and you can also leave a message down below, beep, 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 and you can share my videos with your family, your friends. Don't forget to ring the notification bell, and you can check out my playlist. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. And alrighty, so now you, and 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 me, guess what? We're all a piece of the puzzle. We're all a piece of the puzzle. But a big, huge problem in this world is that they divided us. I just got done doing this because I had to get some cards with my information on here for my YouTube channel. But this was a piece of poster board, and I just got done cutting these out because I'm going to have like bright yellow and have my information on here, because until later on when I get business cards made. So this is you, I got one for you, and one for you. Starlight's got hers, and one for you. Put that over there. And mine, actually, how many? I don't need another one. I already got one. So this was a big piece of poster board, and this is what they did. They divided us. They separated us, just like let's see, like all these pieces here on my on this table here, is that they divided us. They separated. Let me see if I can do this something different here. So then, because now I can Starlight's. So I'll just have a little fun here. You guys are going to see Starlight in close up, but kind of like Starlight Mrs. Arts and Crafts. So I know I got to back up a little bit if this works out. So yeah, they, just like that poster board, they separated us. We really need to unite, not to be separated and divided. And on the other side, worked out. See, I got like a star, this is a lot of places have like a star like that. That's a little man there. See the little man? I should put a little smiley, like a head up there, so then you could see the star. But anyway, is like a puzzle. Like this is like, a jigsaw puzzle, but they're all like the same shape and same size, like you and I, And what they did is they divided us, and we need to come together. That's the thing, is that there's people out there, they want to build walls, to keep people out. And I understand keeping people out that are going to try to hurt us or harm your kids, but as I've traveled all around the United States in different areas, like, for example, I'm at a library, right? So every library, I've gone in tons of libraries for the last 2.5 years. It's somewhere close to getting it like that. Almost 2.5 years of October. Not quite that long, but 2 years plus. I've been living in my car, being on this, going on this journey. It's a journey within, is what this has been like, is a journey within, finding out who I am. And so on this journey, I have gone to lots of libraries. So Starlight's going to sit back because, So I've gone to several libraries all around the United States. And so, like the study room, for example, every place that I've gone, each library has different set of rules. Just like, every place, everywhere you go, a different set of rules. Even the towns that we go into, they have different things, but really, it is something because we can learn so much more coming together than being divided like they have separated us. And it is a shame because I know, like, I just went somewhere and I had a conversation with a guy that worked at a Dollar Tree, and bam, he said something and it triggered, and he was right what he said. And this is, my point here, even at a library. I have seen lots of rules at every library. Every library is different. Even like food pantries, everything is ran differently. And what I've noticed, there's some people, they need some help. They need help, to make sense out of what they're doing. And, have you ever heard like too many cooks? There's a saying about too many cooks, can spoil a meal. I don't know. Did I just make that up? But anyway, too many cooks can spoil a meal. You got too many people, trying to make a meal, and it kind of can spoil it, because now nobody, we need each other to come together. But what I'm saying is that there's libraries everywhere I've gone, like this library here. I really don't know what the rules are, but they do have a sign on this door on the outside. So everywhere I've gone, they have like different set of rules. I've gone to libraries where, wow, they made, sense out of a lot of what they did as far as how they're going to do their library and how the rules are going to be set. I've gone in other libraries where, wow, they're so strict. They got all these, they got a huge list of rules. And you know what? I didn't feel comfortable in that place. Absolutely not. The tension was, it's like cutting cheese. Like, it's hard to cut that cheese, and that's how the tension was. So I didn't feel comfortable. And that's not, now the people are ruining it for people to feel relaxed when they go there. It should be a relaxing environment. This is about relaxing and reading and learning and all this stuff, and so if we all come together, because we all have this is closer, a piece. This is my piece, and just like all the states, all the cities, like one state, I was just said this the other day in one of my videos, and I don't know, sometimes I make videos, but then I don't edit them, something happened and I didn't edit those videos. So I'm not sure, but like United States, so I don't have a globe or a map right here, but United States and all these states and all these cities, well, every place that, they got different rules. It makes it so hard for people to understand what to expect when you go to different places. Like a lot of libraries, they, I'll show you. they don't mind if you come in with a water bottle like this where it's got a top on there. Okay? But I've gone to other libraries where, the rules are too strict. I got like breathing problems sometimes. I got stuff that goes on with me, like if I am closed in, that's when it normally happens. I feel like I'm going to have a panic attack. I get hot. And I've been actually sent to a hospital when I felt like this before. And other times I've actually have been in a car where wrecked my brand new lease car. It totaled, and that's what I was feeling. Hot, I was feeling hot, I was feeling thirsty, and I was breathing heavy, So I like to have water everywhere I go with me. Like right now, thinking about it, I Starlight need some water. So every place that I've gone into, they have different rules. There's other places in libraries where they have signs. It's like no food or water in the library. And they will have that sign. I totally understand about food, but with the water, like to have water with not everybody's going to want it in a plastic because, it's kind of hard to get around walking out in public without having a plastic container. And of glass, it breaks, if you drop it. So I don't really know what everybody uses when they drink, but because in my situation, this is what I'm using. And then they say, of course, I would just be spending like a half hour, So Starlight doesn't have this right, and I'm not saying this is right to drink out of a water bottle like this, but in my situation, this is what I'm doing. But the whole point is that if we come together, I would love to help a lot of places out, but that's not my job. That's not my job as far as what I'm here to do. My job is not to go in and just to, hey, this actually would work out better here, where they can have a drink in here, but, with a top on it, and, so then if they're thirsty, they can have a drink. You don't want dehydrated people in your library, right? It gets hot outside. You don't know where those people came from. And then they come into a library and they might need to really have their water intake, especially water or, drinks that will hydrate you, to have those kind of items. So I understand, there's places out there that will let you drink. A lot of times they have signs all over and then still people don't even, like Starlight's guilty of that. I still have my drink. It says no water, no food, and still Starlight has her drink. I might kind of hide it on the floor a little bit, so it doesn't stir up a problem. And then I look around and I'm like, I'm not the only one in here doing this. So, and if anybody, and I've had one person tell me this before, and it's kind of funny because they had notes all over in the library, and they said, nobody else said anything, but a certain worker, was there, and they're like, oh yeah, not supposed to really have any drinks in here. If you could just put that inside your bag, so, more or less if it spills. But in that way, nobody can see it, They don't want other people, getting upset because if they said, hey, you can't have water, but Starlight can. I can have water. I got a doctor's note. So my whole point of saying all this, everywhere, especially United States. I can't say anything about outside the United States, but we are all a piece of the puzzle. We need each other. They divided us. Like I just talked to this man at a Dollar Tree. He said, we can learn from each other. You're right. Exactly. They divide us so then, you have a piece of the puzzle in your hand, and I got a piece. This is all the wisdom and knowledge that we've learned. And I'm a Virgo. I don't know what sign you are, but you got something that I need help with, and I got something that you need help with. Even though I'm a YouTube creator here, having a YouTube channel about be the change that you want to see in the world, and also I put out things that I've experienced in my reality as far as this journey goes, or throughout my life, true stories, true events, things to help you out with the matrix. That's an added thing that I added as I I didn't know what to expect with a YouTube channel. But even though I am a YouTube creator, guess what? I can learn from you. I can learn from you. I can learn from you. And yes, I definitely can learn from you because I've learned so much from you. But that's what they don't want us to learn from each other. They wanted to separate us because we are stronger together, and, it's like having like this puzzle, like if it measured like this piece of, if this was the whole size, Starlight's mind is like gonna blow up. So this is the poster board, but Starlight shrunk it to, the size of a card, So there's all of us, and I had a spiritual awakening before, so it was super cool. And I can't explain that in this video because of the minutes, but, imagine that, like, this was checkered, like a checkered board, so there would be like dark spots, dark and white, just say a white and black checkered board. I don't know what color they are, but imagine that we just take all the dark ones out, we just keep all the light ones. No, we don't want to do that because that's racial, right? No, so we're going to just take all the white one. No, that's racial too, Starlight. Whatever. So anyway, just imagine, okay, we're going to change the colors. We're going to just say they're purple and orange, okay? There's no purple and orange people out there, okay? So it's a purple and orange checkered board for playing checkers. So we're just going to take all the orange ones out and we're just going to have the purple. Well, guess what? You're never going to learn from the orange. What can you learn from the color orange? Those kind of, like if they were people that were orange, there's information. They have stuff that we need. Even like astrology, like whatever your sign is. Are you a Pisces, a Scorpion? There's certain things about each sign that we all have different gifts and we all have different strengths and we have our weaknesses and we need each other because we can learn so much. But if we just took out, eliminated certain ones, then that would be missing pieces of the puzzle. This would never be the same size that it originally was if we just took out those ones. We don't need these ones. We'll just take those orange ones out. Well, then it's not going to come together like a jigsaw puzzle. It's not going to come together. Things are not going to work right. That's why, you wonder how come the world is all screwed up. It's because it's all upside down, backwards, twisted, inside out. It never was meant to work out the way we're doing it. And that's why so many places struggle and they're like the guinea pig in a wheel, just spinning around, going nowhere, and that is why they wanted it this way because, we would keep on repeating the same shit, like why is it still today? It's because we keep on repeating the same stuff over and over again, each generation after generation after generation. This is what was blowing my mind growing up, wondering, even now as I make videos and I get to know people, and it's like, shouldn't we be further ahead by now? But no, because each generation of families come up because things are not being done right. And there's people out there, hang on, Starlight needs water, that's why it's so important. There's no fan in here. So it's so important that we do come together. We don't build up walls. We need to tear them down, And you know what? We got enough people to protect ourselves from that, They just have to be wise on how they do these things. There's ways of doing things, but we need to come together, not to be divided, and because separation, that's when we're going to fall. It's uniting is when we're going to rise up, and then we can build and help each other instead of being separate, and that's why there's a war amongst us, these people over there and those people. No, we need to have everybody come together because the people that are from other countries, they learn stuff that we don't have. We need those people, not just over there in that state over there or down, down south, where they got that information there. But imagine that information from the people from other countries, that it gets, we all work together as a whole, not divided. So everything would work a whole lot better. With that's why a lot of things are not working out. Even when I had a therapist a long time ago, but you know what? The more I was seeing her, the more I was realizing a lot of places do this. Even when I got my driver's license, is that there's people out there, they could help you out, but they don't. Why? Because they want you to come back so they get more of your money. They don't really seriously want, they want to learn from you. See, they want to learn from you, get the wisdom and knowledge from you, but to really help you out so then you don't have to keep on going back, because that should be the goal is, hey, I'm going to help you out so you're strong enough and you can get out, walk on your own and be able to, but I'm here as a support when you need me. I'm here because there's going to be struggles, but a lot of places, even doctors, a lot of doctors, they don't want to help you out. They want your money. They want to, and that's why when we come together, there's going to be people that are going to, like in schools. I've seen this in a school, and it's like, that's the only school I've seen it. Of course, I don't go and visiting schools, but they had, and this is what they should have in the high school. When the kids are starting to develop and stuff and they're figuring things out, is to have special classes that they can select. It's not mandatory, but they can choose on their own. If you want to learn about meditation, here, there's a course for that. You can learn about meditation, where then the child, the student, gets to pick and choose. Hey, I want to learn about, astrology in this class over here. I want to learn about meditation. I want to learn about yoga, instead of, because there's some families that would totally go against that. They would not want their kids in it, but they ought to have it where it's a thing that they can actually have for the students, so they can, I'm a problem solver, man. You got a problem, I can solve it. So I am, and there's other signs out there that are problem solvers too, but I know I have a gift for, I got a case to, I have a solution for animal problems, because I love the animals. I'm not going to tell you this thing, I'm not going to tell you, because there's times that what happens is that other people will take credit, but I do want to spread this out there somewhere, so then people, and that's why we need each other, so we can spread it around, not just in this state and that state, but so then all the states in the United States can get that help. And then, when we work together as a family, we can help other people out in the world, out in the countries, and they can, you got something. You have a piece of the puzzle. I gave you one. But it's not doing any good when you hold it to yourself. And that's why we need more people to get out, and we need to get these walls, taken down. They're, the whole United States, instead of having this is that city, this is that city, we do things this way, we do things that way. You could go in all these different places and like, hey, you know what, this would work better this way if you did this. Or about growing plants. There could be somebody that's not doing the plants right, not doing this right, and we can help each other so we can actually get things growing. And like I was saying, like with the kids, why is it that people are still today repeating the same shit even when I was born? Same shit. Their children should not be being abused still today. But they are. It's because the system is set up a certain way so that that stuff keeps on happening. There's things that we can do and change that stuff. But I can't do this on my own. We need to have more people to get out, and work, whatever field you have, is to get these out there, and these ideals that we have, these things that we can put our input in, solutions, to the problems out there. So I love you so much is that we all need to come together like a puzzle, like I just put all of us together on this little card here, but we need, of course, the puzzle is much bigger than this little piece of paper right here. I'm just imagining this being a big poster board, but we all need to come together so then everything will be functioning right, and the kids can get more help than what they are right now. There's places out there, they want your money is what the problem is. Greed stops people from really, they're like, hey, all these foster kids out there, coming from abused families, these things, we need more people to get out there. And also, as a lot of these places, they don't stay to their guns. They don't, like when I used to work and help out handicapped people, they made it sound so important to not let abuse stop. Guess what? Abuse was slipping all the time. I spoke up and said, hey, this shit is not right, what's going on in here. You know what? They kicked me out of the house where the abuse was going on. They left the abuser in the home. There's something screwed up with that. I would not want to work for a company like that again, and that's why I cannot work. No, you know what? You tell me it's so important that if you see abuse that you report it. Well, I report abuse, and they did shit about it. They kicked me out and left the abuser in the house with the patient, the person, the client in there, and my heart went out to this man. He actually had a football accident when he went to high school. He was paralyzed. He had no way to defend himself. So the system is corrupt, but we can do something about it. People need to stop letting this stuff happen, because they're afraid that they're going to, lose their job, or, they need to go to the higher up. I didn't know all this stuff when I went there. I needed to go to somebody up higher. You're not listening to me? I needed to go up higher. I didn't realize that. So, and this is how things get done repeatedly all over again. So my heart goes out to all these people out there that go through so much. There's people that don't want to go into a nursing home. Why? Because they know there's a lot of places that neglect those people. They don't get the proper care. They get the money, but they're not getting the proper, people are getting away with shit when they get hired. I just was talking to my brother the other day. Cell phone usage should be, the cell phones, people want it, we didn't have cell phones when I was growing up. I had a job. I didn't have a cell phone up my ass when I went and worked. The system is getting so corrupt with people when they're working that they always have to have their phone up their butt, and then things and people get neglected. I don't know how many times I go into a grocery store, just in a store or gas station, if there wasn't a ding that was on the door to let you know that somebody opened up the door, people wouldn't even notice that you even came in, because a lot of times I see people, they're just sitting there looking on their phones scrolling. That, you know what? I would say, no, this is a rule here we have in this place. No, we're not having that here, because a lot of things slide. That's how come a lot of stuff happens in a place, is because people are so addicted to their phones that they can't even go to a job and do their job in a correct way without picking up their phone every so many minutes, or headsets, so there's places I don't mind. I don't think that it's wrong to have a headset as long as you just have one piece in there, but a lot of places absolutely not. But these are reasons that things are going on wrong in the world, because people are not doing their jobs right like they should in the begin with. They let people slide. It's better that people need to learn their lesson. If you want a job, then you got to go by our rules that we have set up. And you can't, when you make the rules, just like having a child, you can't hey, I told you that, you can't steal, but, there's times that kids are going to do stuff. but there's got to be, discipline. There's got to be, and I'm not saying that you got to beat your kids, but there's, trying to think of the word, but like, there's going to be something taken away. They need to understand that, hey, things are going to get taken away if you don't abide by the rules. We're going to help you in that way, so then you don't think that it's okay to do these things. People, adults need to go through that. Hey, you really want your job? Well, then you got to go by the rules. And if they need to be strict on these things. And I understand that people have kids and there's shit that really does happen, but it's really crazy. And this is why the robots are going to be taken over, because, they're having these issues out there. But where does it all fall? It's that, that pyramid thing, people not doing their work, and then they blame other people, and it's crazy. Before you know it, we're not even going to have humans out there working. It'll be all a bunch of robots. What do you think they're going to do with us? So anyway, I love you so much, but you and we need to put our pieces here. I got my piece. We can put them together, and we can work together and put our ideals together, our wisdom, and put it together. It's not about being divided or separation. It's coming together because we are stronger. We can make a difference, but we need to, put our differences aside, and that is what we need in this world. This is what the kids need. They need this. So I love you so much. This is Starlight. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, give me a thumbs up, and you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. Plus, you could share my videos with your family or friends, and don't forget the notification bell, and check out my playlist. And you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman, Starlight. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.